you have no idea where I am, keep walking down that long hallway with the windows on both sides, and you'll arrive at the far end where we have our fish feed. Yeah, during the fish feed, you have a great opportunity to see some different animals that you may not pick up right away. So keep your eyes peeled for sharks and rays, sea turtles, and of course, lots and lots of fish. Nice look at our spotted eagle ray right here, and there's a sea turtle way back on the left-hand side of my center window. Ooh, shark coming through just on the other side. Actually, there's a shark coming through just the left-hand window. Now, if you're in the center window, you want to just sit all the way down. Sit all the way down instead of kneeling. Sit crisscross on the floor. Yep. Now, this is a black-nosed shark right here. She often shows up during fish feed. Yep, and kids at the window, if you look down, you'll see a sand tiger. That's that very large shark moving across just diagonally from the center window. And once again, if you're in the front of the center window, you need to be sitting down. Okay, that's so that people behind you can see. Now there's two sand tigers in the environment. There's one that just passed through, and there's a second one. They range between 10 and 12 feet long. Oh, and if you look way back past the fish, you'll see our loggerhead sea turtle. Now coming down right in front of the center window is a diver. Actually, she's a little bit to the left. She's going to be, I think, feeding our spotted eagle ray. Now what you want to do is look for a red PVC cone in her hand. That is a target. Now the spotted eagle ray is that very gorgeous brown and white spotted ray that you see approaching. Now what you want to watch for is the ray is going to come and touch its snout right to that PVC cone. He's got to touch it right to the middle and keep it there for a couple of seconds. And then once he does, our diver will give him a handful of clams in the shell. Now we call this target training or target feeding. And it's a way that we can, number one, keep track of the amount of food our ray is eating. It also brings the ray close to the diver so that he can make sure that it's nice and healthy, not injured in any way. And it helps control the feeding process and keep our ray from following our divers around the environment, doing things like nudging their regulator, poking their mask, and things like that. So now he will circle around. Now if you notice, we did feed him a clam in the shell. That's because rays have bony plates in their mouth that they can use to crush that shell. But he doesn't eat the shells, he only eats the soft parts on the inside. So if you watch, he will crush that shell and spit out the shells. And as he's spitting out the shells, he drops little pieces of food behind. So if you watch him closely, he gets a little fan club that follows him along and grabs the little pieces of food that he drops as he's spitting out those shells. Now he'll finish chewing up that clam and then he'll circle back around to our diver again for another try. Now we do feed our fish about 3 times a day here at the Seas. We have 2 presentations like this, one about 10 o'clock in the morning and one right now at 3:30. Our fish also get a surface feed at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Our aquarium team gets here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. They have to prepare all of the food for the animals, enough to make sure that we can feed all of the large fish, the sharks, the smaller fish, plus all the fish you see in all the exhibits around the Seas. So I'll just point out really quickly some of the fish you can see in front of the window while we're waiting for our spotted eagle ray to come back. Now most of the little fish you see right here in front of the window are called grunts. Passing right in front of our diver are 3 grumpy looking silverfish called crevalle jacks. Now there's a couple different types of grunts. One are the porkfish, which are these yellow fish with the 2 black stripes at the front. Here comes the spotted eagle ray again. You'll notice he'll circle around the diver and look for that target. That's the red PVC cone in the diver's hand. Notice the fish following the ray. Those are Bermuda chubs. And again, they're trying to get a free and easy meal as the stingray crushes up his clam and drops the shells out. He may drop some pieces of food. It's also a little shelter for fish. A lot of times in the wild, they'll swim underneath rays. It's kind of like eating under an umbrella or hiding out in the shade. Get a little protection that way from following a larger animal. Now, if you're looking for sharks, you want to look down. Right down on the right-hand side, there is a sandbar shark. Most should be able to see that. Sandbars are about 4 to 6 feet long. There are 3 of them in the environment. So now we've talked about 3 types of sharks. We have sandbars, 3 of them, sand tigers, 10 to 12 feet long, and we saw our small black-nosed shark come through. And all my fish are disappearing. Where'd they all go? There's the black nose. All the fish are gone. Where'd they go, guys? Fish. Oh, here they come. Yeah. I think they're coming through. Actually, they're all staying over there. Let's see where our diver is. There's our diver. There we go. Now if you look closely, the diver's back. Now you'll notice that the shark is cutting through, but it's not feeding on the fish. It's actually stealing their food. Sharks are opportunistic feeders, so it's actually gorging itself on the food that's been out there for the fish. But if you look, what the diver has done is distributed a cloud of food into the environment. All of the fish can take an opportunity to feed. And we'll do 2 broadcast feeds. That's what we call this. It's broadcasting the food out for all the other animals. We'll do one right here in front of the window, and then there'll be another one where the diver swims all the way around the environment. And as you can see, our sharks take advantage of that as well. The small shark anyway, the black nose. The larger sharks are not fed this way. They are fed when we don't have divers in the water and we don't have guests at the window. That's because we don't want our sharks associating people with food. So our sharks are fed in the morning. They're fed very early from a pair of tongs. They're actually conditioned to come to a certain spot in the environment. So they're fed from a pair of tongs and they have no idea they're being fed by people. So they have no association with people and food. They're fed about 3 times a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the wild a shark might eat once a week, once every 3 weeks, or once every 3 months for a large shark. So that's actually keeping the sharks very, very well fed, which makes sure that they don't go looking for snacks among their friends and neighbors that are swimming with them in the environment. Now this little shark is a black nose. You can pick her out just by that black dot on the front of her nose. Now she is a full-grown shark. Many people ask, is that a baby shark? She is not. That is how big she gets. Black noses run 3-4 feet, and that makes her a very typical size shark. Even though the big sharks, like big hammerheads and great whites, get lots and lots of press attention, over half the species of sharks are less than 4 feet long. So they go after small prey, and they're the scavengers or the garbage cans of the ocean. They help pick up things that are sick and dying. They're scavengers, opportunistic, and they help keep the ocean clean. So they're an important part of our ecosystem here as well. Now, you may be wondering what our sea turtles get to eat. Well, our sea turtles eat 2 things. The green sea turtles, which we have 3 of those, you'll see them in the environment. They get romaine lettuce and green leaf lettuce. So if you've been out in Epcot today and you've had a nice Caesar salad or something like that, you're getting the same quality lettuce that our sea turtles get, because they all get restaurant quality food. Our other sea turtle, the loggerhead sea turtle, gets some of that. He also gets squid and fish, because loggerheads are animals that eat. Now kids on the floor, likes to make sandcastles when they go to the beach? Yeah, a simple thing you can do to help sea turtles when you go to the beach. It sounds really complicated, but it's not. If you make your sandcastle and before you're ready to go home, you level out the sand again when you're all done playing with your sandcastle. If you do that, you're doing a simple thing to help sea turtles because they nest on the beach. The little ones have to get across to the ocean, and when they hit a sandcastle, they get confused and they might go the wrong way. So go to the beach, enjoy your sandcastle, but level it out before you go home. Kids on the floor, there's also another shark going straight back, a sandbar shark. Now the divers will be working in the environment for a few more minutes, feeding the fish. We also have a safety diver in the environment. You can usually wave at them, take a look. The spotted eagle ray may come through again, take another pass, getting some clams. I'll be here for a few more minutes. If you have questions about the feed, any questions about the animals, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If not, have a